Today, we talk about... Boom. All right, so welcome back. Episode, again, still not sure. We'll find out after I edit.
Episode TBD.
Yeah, the 30,000th one I've done today. So we got another special guest. Want to introduce yourself, man?
Hey, everyone. My name's Luis Galilei. I'm a comic here in New York City. Also a fellow sneakerhead. I don't got as much shoes, but I'm also a fellow sneakerhead. Yeah. What else I do? I do a little bit of streetwear design on the side too.
Oh, nice. Okay. Yeah. Is this one of your designs?
Yeah, this is one of my first things.
Nice.
It's just simple like screen printing and stuff like that. I learned how to sew, but it's very time consuming. So I was like, I'm just gonna print on blanks and
Fair
stuff.
Enough. Yeah, I know this is the first thing I noticed when you walked in, just in case the camera's not getting it. Don't compromise your culture.
Don't compromise your culture. Over here it says for success.
Got it. Okay. Anything on the other sleeve?
Nah.
No? Right, cool.
I did no symmetry on this one.
I feel you. All right, so yeah, I met you last night?
Last night.
Or two nights? Yeah, last
night,
bro.
bro.
And great show. You killed it.
Thank you,
it was
man.
dope.
Thank you, man.
And,
it was fun.
Yeah.
It was a fun time.
Yeah, it's first time going to that comedy show, but Matt Summerstein, who we've had on here before, Nicola, who will be a upcoming guest, so they were doing a great job with it. The whole reason I came is because of those guys, and then saw you there, so that was dope. How long have you been doing comedy?
I would say I've been doing it probably almost a solid 2 years.
Oh, okay.
Almost a solid 2 years. Yeah.
I would have guessed 5.
Thank you, man. I appreciate that. Yeah. That means a lot. Yeah, no. I started out like everyone starts out, but I was really cocky, right? Because I was able to bring a lot of people to bringers and stuff.
Oh, okay.
For people that don't know what bringers are, I mean, I was just explain it, right? Unless people know.
What's that?
People know what bringers are?
No, go ahead. Yeah,
no, yeah.
Most of these guys are not
comedians, right? Yeah, so
at least not yet. If it blows up,
we're inspiring the competition. No, bringers are when you have to get stage time at a club. You have to bring a certain amount of people. They give you like 5 to 6 minutes or something, sometimes 7.
Right.
And I was able to bring a lot of people. And my shit
was
was
always
funny.
New York?
Yeah, I'm from New York. I'm from White Plains.
White Plains, okay.
Yeah. I grew up in Yonkers, Mount Vernon, and White Plains.
Gotcha.
But I was bringing a lot of people. And my shit was funny. So I was like, oh, this is all I'm going to do.
Right.
I thought I was doing well, whatever, until you start bombing. And I bombed for my first time. And then comedy kind of smacked me in my face. And I kind of went down. I was like, you know what? I'm going to take a break. I went through some personal like mental health stuff, got through that,
right.
And then was doing my streetwear thing too, but then I was like, nah, number one love is comedy, so I got back into it, and I've been going hard for like the last 6 months now.
Oh, nice, that's dope.
Like mics every day and stuff.
That's dope. That's
shows.
Yeah, because I'm with you, man. Like it was a big smack in the face for me too. Just like, especially the scene here, because when you're,
it's different.
Yeah. I work in Iowa and I live in New York, so I'm a doctor.
Oh, shit.
And I work out there, live here.
What do you specialize in?
GI, gastrointestinal.
Damn.
Yeah. So I'm up butts all day. That's kind of
nice.
My thing. Yeah.
Anal guy.
That's like half my material, So first time I'd ever even stepped foot in a comedy club was in Iowa.
Word.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I'd
What's
always.
That like?
So I'll tell you, I didn't know what I was getting myself into, because up until then I was obsessed with comedy, but only like Comedy Central presents, Netflix specials, whatever, YouTube. And then all of a sudden I'm working out in Iowa, and then on a whim I'm like, oh shit, there's a comedy club here. Of course, it's like literally right around the corner from my hotel, and they have a free open mic on a Wednesday. So I'm like, oh, let me check this out. And I was like,
which was it?
Penguins Comedy Club in Cedar Rapids.
I feel like I've heard that.
Have you?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, they get some big names out there for like weekend shows and whatnot, but basically, I went there and I was like blown away. I was like, holy shit, comedy club, this is crazy.
Yeah.
I started like learning the culture of like comedy clubs, and then started to meet the other comics, and then they were super supportive and encouraging. So I was like, yo, I've always wanted to do this, but I don't know, blah, blah, blah. And then after I finished my last board exams in October, I sat back down. I was like, all right, time to write some jokes. And then next time I'm in Iowa, I'm going to try it. And of course, not only being Iowa, but being your first time on stage, everyone's kind of supportive. So like you walk away and you're like, yeah, I'm doing this. Right? And then you come out here and I'm doing open mics and like,
this place will smack you in the mouth, bro.
Yeah.
And it's very cliquey too. So like if you're new, people like, I'm sure I've had this too. You walk in and they're like, look at you, look away. It's like, I'm with my clique. And it's almost like not on purpose. But it's like it can be a very lonely journey.
Right.
So people tend to like gravitate around each other.
Yep.
Yeah, man.
And I noticed too, like, what do you call it? With because you're asking me how it is out there. Like, it's so refreshing going back there to do mics, even though there's way less than there is here, because there's like real people in that crowd, as opposed to here when you're open or when you're doing
All
other
comics.
open micers. It's like, oh my god, man. Yeah.
That's the difference. I have a lot of friends that either go on the road or they travel for work, and they'll go up in places like Minneapolis, and they'll be like, yeah, an open mic there might have like 80 people in the crowd,
Right.
which is crazy to me. And like a regular show with no names would be like 100 people standing room. My friend did like Minneapolis or something, which is crazy to me, right? But they're different caliber levels of open mics and like comedy journeys. Like the same way you'll see someone, you probably like a comedian from Iowa could come up in Iowa only, then do like a Midwestern circuit, then out of nowhere get on Comedy Central. He might have never had to touch New York.
Yep.
That's why, like, if you're funny, you're funny.
Yep.
And if the right person sees you, the right person sees you. But
Right.
here's some comics, like, I feel like we get longevity here. Like, we've been through it. Like, you got open mics with other open micers that are like, everyone bombs together. Comedy's about energy.
Yep.
If the energy in the room is fucked up at an open mic, whew,
I've seen it.
good luck with trying to do well.
I've seen people that crush like you do, and then they bring legit the same material to an open mic. And I went to one open mic where literally act after act after act, not a single laugh. Like,
Dude.
it was miserable. It was just
I love comedy because it is literally this, like, to me it's like the study of behavior in people, right? And I love going to shows to purely support, and sometimes I just watch the crowd.
yeah.
And I'm like, why? You know, I've seen comics that are at the pro level kill a crowd with the same joke, and then the next time I see him, different crowd, same joke, and it gets to laugh, but it doesn't kill. And I'm like, what is it?
Yeah.
Like, what is the difference there? And I just feel like everyone feels your energy. You come up there, it doesn't matter if it's an open mic. You can go up there in an open mic and I could do my same material and people won't laugh, but if I get a chuckle, that's a win.
Yeah.
If I get a little, that's a win to me.
Yeah, it's my favorite because like I turn it into a joke, but it's like you have a great joke here that I can take back to Iowa and get huge laughs.
Yeah.
If I just get one of these,
That's like, it's respect.
That's all I need.
also, a bunch of times comics will be like that one. They won't even laugh.
Yeah.
They'll just be like, I really like that one. They're like, bro, I need you to laugh. Like, if not, how am I? It's instant feedback.
See, the other thing too, though, I don't like when comics are they're like shitting on the room, or like they're like, no, it's your fault, not me.
That's insecurity, bro.
Yeah, very much so.
That's insecurity.
And I just hate how like you're not confident in your own skill, that like you're begging us for the laugh. Like, dude, if you think it's funny and you're workshopping this, because I'll see some comics are like Billy last night. Mm-hmm. I've seen him like a surgeon, just fucking deliver his lines to an empty-ish room.
Yeah.
And he doesn't give a shit. He's just I'm practicing this, and then I'm going to take it on stage later. Like, that's just the attitude.
Seems like a good writer.
Yeah. That seems like more of his strength. You know, I'm definitely not a writer.
I'm not like, I work shit out on stage, and I have to force myself to like really write it down,
right?
Because I'm just like, I don't know. I like to have that spontaneity in my head. But yeah, man, it's so interesting because like, it's like the people that, as you were saying, like that blame the crowd or like blame the room. It's like, if you're giving a presentation in a boardroom, right, and you're not doing well, you can't blame the people in the conference room.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? They're taking it in for what you're giving.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? You have to look at you in the presentation you made, because you're either going to kill that conference room or not.
Yep.
And if you don't, what are you going to walk out there like, oh, they're not going to buy my shit?
Yeah.
But that's because they don't know what they're talking about. No.
She was ugly anyway.
Yeah. Exactly. It's just that it. Right, parallel. It's the she was ugly anyway, and the crowd sucks. It's the same dude. Same dude.
Literally the same guy.
Dude. They're the same dude. Nah, that's funny. I never associated that.
But yeah, man, it's been a crazy learning experience for me because
how long have you been doing it?
I started in November, literally, because like I said, my last board exam was in October.
Yeah.
And then I just started writing right after that, and I was starting to put a 5-minute set together. And then November I hit the the stage in Iowa, and then I started coming back here, and then it was my friend. One of the comics I respect out in Iowa. Oh, because I forgot to mention this earlier. There's, like you said, like you could develop your act and really be really funny because funny is funny. There's a lot of funny comics out in Iowa.
Yeah,
there's a lot of funny guys.
Definitely is.
Funnier than a lot of what I've seen here, to be honest with you. But again, here there's just more, so it's more saturated. Kind of like LA. There's a ton of actors, but a lot of them are bad. It's just what it is.
Yeah.
But anyway,
has too many open mics and keep frying your brain, bro.
Because we were comparing the ugly chick dude to that, and
to the guy that says.
I was thinking back to all the open mics that I go to and playing to the crowd, because I try to play to the crowd a lot. Oh no, you asked me how long I've been doing this. Yeah. So I've been doing this since November, and finally figured it out.
We made it.
We made it. So dude, this just reminded me of, like, sometimes I'll start a conversation with someone, and I'll do one of these. I'll be like, "Yo, did you? Oh, actually, wait." Well, like I'll actually do that in front of someone, and they'll just be looking at me like, "Dude, fucking talk! I don't know what you're talking about." In my head, I'm having the conversation.
I bet your patients don't like that shit. They're like, wait.
Well, luckily with my patients, it's all just like
it's all muscle memory,
autopilot. Like,
autopilot.
The minute they walk in and they say one word, I already know what the fuck I'm gonna do. You know what I mean? But no, I literally just had that moment. I was like, oh, but yeah, you know what? Never mind. And then I walk away like nothing ever happened. They're sitting there like, what?
That happens.
But no, I've been doing comedy since November. But what I was trying to tell you, we're back, is I remember wanting to do comedy back in medical school. This was back in 2010.
Okay.
And what I would do is I would take my Gmail draft folder and I just started putting little notes in there.
Yeah.
Nothing was funny. I never developed any of the material. I never tried it out. I never got on stage. But like, and then I eventually lost that folder, so I didn't even have access to that. But it was all garbage.
It's like Drake's BlackBerry.
Yeah, it was like
he
the
lost on
BlackBerry.
the beach or some shit.
Yeah. I used to be like the way he was with BlackBerries writing lyrics. I was the same way with my Gmail draft folder, just like writing ideas down. But back then, I learned my lesson. Back then, I would write like 2 words, like, plant, camera, and I wake up the next day like, what the fuck is plant, camera?
What did I mean?
So now, like, if you look at some of my notes, it's like literally like a written out like novel. It's like
you gotta write a full premise, or just like write that mind dump down. Just mind dump it.
Exactly. When you were saying you write out not write out, but like you work out material on stage. Do you record all your sets? Do you?
Yeah, I record all my sets audio wise. I don't film myself.
Okay.
I should probably start doing that, especially since like a lot of my comedy is also like the way I move on my body, like my facial expressions. Like, I mean, on last night's show it was like no stage, so I didn't want to alienate the people behind. But I have like stuff when I'm like running around and being extra dramatic. But I didn't want to do that because like if not, it'll only be the first row of the song. But so that's why I think I should start like videotaping. But I record it. Essentially, I have those thoughts, write them down on my notes. It's usually just a premise, or I just ranted. I'm like whatever I'm thinking about. Like, maybe I'm thinking about plants and fucking whatever.
Do you do audio notes too, or just like writing?
No, I just do written, and then when I go on stage, I say the premise, and in my head I know that I'm gonna hit probably like ABC points, but I kind of like work them out on stage. Yeah, because like it's the most natural to me. Yeah. And if I hit my premise, and people are engaged, then I'm like, okay, check, good premise.
Gotcha.
If I hit point A, they don't really laugh, but I hit point B, then I'm like, okay, now I have point B, now let's work. Where can I take point B out? Got it. Or maybe point A comes back in, but it has to be more related, has to be born from point B. I just start doing that on stage.
Yeah, I've noticed that too when like I'll have an idea, and actually another comic I talked to who I had here with Jared, he was mentioning to me how like he'll plan, hey, I'm going to be hitting 5 mics today. So he'll take an idea he got and he'll try it at mic 1. By the time he gets to mic 5, he's done it 5 times and he's like polished it up. You know? So it's kind of the same thing where like I'll try a punchline and maybe it worked, maybe it didn't, but maybe I'm like, oh shit, maybe I should like reverse the order of these 2 sentences, and like I start having those thoughts. You know?
Yeah, you can get real surgical with it. My whole thing is like, if you got heart for a joke and it's not working, work on it. Yeah. Like, don't completely leave it. Like, that's why I like my notes in my iPhone, because I can scroll back up and I can be like, oh, that, like, I told the English language joke last night, right? Yep. That joke, I tried to write that joke 6 months ago and it wasn't there. And then it came up again, and I was like, oh yeah, I was trying to write that joke. And how they're all like, why? Why is it changed in certain words? Then I just wrote it, and I was like, okay. But like, I love that sort of process, right? And keeping your notes and then not giving up on things. Of course, if you bomb it every single time, and basically someone in the audience is like, hey, bro, I think you should leave that one. But especially that's why it's good to have good comedy friends.
Yeah.
Because good comedy friends eventually will become your real friends.
Right.
But good comedy friends will be like, yo, that's like, I don't know, maybe the 6th time you tried that, bro. Either they'll give you a tag or they'll be like, we might have to cut that one out of the repertoire. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, no,
but
I know that. I feel like part of that too is, especially when you start out, you're writing down ideas because they are honest to you. You really think they're funny, but your execution and your skills are not there. So maybe you bank it, and then you come back to it in a year or two, and you're like, oh, okay, I knew I was trying to do this. Now I got the skill set.
Yes.
Now I'm going to do it.
Yes.
Yeah.
You know what? Like for me specifically, I didn't find my voice really until 3 months ago.
Okay.
And when you find your voice, that's when you can really like gauge what is yours and what isn't.
Yep.
And what's a funny idea and what's a funny joke. They're different things.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? And like I have a day job, I work in PR, but so I can't hit 5 mics a day.
Yep.
I can hit like 2 to 3 and 3 if I'm pushing, you know what I'm saying? I mean 4 if I'm pushing really. But if I think of something funny, you got your coworkers. A lot of people are embarrassed about saying they're comics, and I'm like, yo, if you're embarrassed about saying something that you dream about being, then why are you doing it?
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying? So like, when people meet me, it's like, yeah, I mean, obviously, if you meet me in the work setting, I'm my work setting person.
I think they're embarrassed because they don't have a job like this.
Yeah, I
That's
mean,
the only
maybe, but like, you gotta speak it into existence before it comes out, and if you don't even call yourself a comic, then what are you doing?
Right.
So people know that I do comedy. So if I think of something funny, I might drop by a good friend's desk. I'm not saying like go up to random people and try a bit out.
Right.
But I take advantage of any moment in time where I could work something out with a real person.
Right.
If I go up to my coworker that I've taken care of his children before, and I'm like, yo, premise, and this is my punch, and he goes, and I'm like, then it's not gonna work. If it doesn't even work for me, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
Then why would it work on a crowd?
Yeah. I like to use my group chat with my friends.
There you go.
Because they're hilarious, but only in chat. Like they would never be able to get on stage, But, excuse me, but they're also super harsh, especially with me. Like nothing I say is funny to them, right? So if I can get them to laugh, I'm like, yo, I got something.
There's a gem in there. Yeah. Then there's also that thing, right? It's like with social media, it's like what's funny on social media might be one thing, and what's funny on stage might be a different thing.
Exactly.
Especially when people try and like directly take a tweet to stage, it's like it might not work because they're serving 2 different purposes.
Yep, exactly.
They're serving 2 different audiences.
Different format, different way of delivery.
Exactly. Like when people see a funny ass tweet and they're like, "Oh my god," crying. But they're not actually laughing. They're just like, this is amazing.
Right. That's one of those. That was a good one.
Yeah. On stage, they have to actually be crying.
Yeah.
Like they can't. I do this thing sometimes when a girl is like, usually a girl. That doesn't happen with guys. They start to laugh silently, and then they're laughing, but they're holding volume back. And I'm like, I need you to let it out and stop holding it back. Like, if not, how are they going to know you think this is funny?
Yeah.
Especially if you're bombing.
No, I feel that. I was trying to think. You said PR. Do you feel like your PR, outside of being able to bounce jokes off of your coworkers, do you feel like the PR job gives you anything that you can use for comedy as far as like inspiration or background?
For sure. I think it's like PR marketing. I think as far as the artists outside of the art, because like I've worked with influencers before, I've worked on strategies, I've worked on social strategies, I've worked on campaigns for brands and when they're looking for different people to work with. So I'm just like, in my head, I know the blueprint sort of like how I should treat myself as a brand.
Okay.
And I see a lot of comics stray away from that because they're kind of like, oh, like I don't need social media. Like
I hate that.
I just have to be funny and then I'll get passed and then I'll get done. And listen, theoretically, sure, you get funny, you meet all the people you want to meet, you get passed out of that. But we are in a different era.
Exactly.
We're in a different era. Fucking Haha Davis did 2 dates at
Right.
Caroline's.
Yep.
He's been doing comedy for maybe 2 years, and he's actually one of the more honorable ones. That I don't know if you saw his interview. It kind of went
Breakfast Club,
it kind of went viral. He said he went back into the clubs because this shit wasn't hitting.
Yep, exactly.
But he's still Haha Davis, and he still has millions of followers, and he still did Caroline's in 2 years.
Yep.
Which most of us won't do.
Yep.
There's a bitter side of me, right? You have to recognize it.
Yep,
but
yep.
there's also, I get it. I understand completely.
This is why. No, sorry. Go ahead.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is that you have to treat yourself like them too. That's why it's funny you put like a Haha Davis next to someone that has like 18K, which I would say like most comics that are really good have like in the 20Ks.
Right.
This guy though, like even though he has 1 million, he has 20K. This 20K comedian has a really strong following.
Right.
This guy, you know, obviously makes his really funny videos and has that, but you gotta have something.
Yep.
Like you, at the end of the day, you gotta be a draw. If you can't fill a room when you
business.
become a pro,
It's a business.
you're just a late night check spot.
Yep.
And that's not what I'm trying to do.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, no, I'm totally with you. And I was actually talking to Matt about this exact topic. I was like, dude, I don't understand how you're a comedian and you're telling me, fuck social media. I don't mess with it. I'm like, do you realize how this works nowadays? Like, there's no more like, there's no more Carson, you know, putting you on and then you're big. Like that doesn't exist anymore. You know, you got to put yourself on, right? And
That's how it is.
but he was making a good counter argument, which is, and I understand this view, which is like you don't want to almost feel like a whore, where you're just like whoring yourself out to the internet.
Right.
It's like, you know,
It's a
but
balance.
I feel like there's a balance, right?
It's a balance. Yeah. It's a balance.
Not with me. I put out everything. I just like that.
Yeah, but you have different categories though. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I don't stick strictly to comedy for one. But even within comedy, did you know I post every single set? Of
I saw. I think that's almost admirable because I wouldn't be able to do that. Just because
most say that. So.
Yeah, I think it's admirable, and it's also everyone focuses on the negative. Everyone will see you post like I don't know what number you're at, but I saw you put the numbers in your mics. You're like mic number 50 something. I think you're at 60 maybe.
60 something. Yeah.
Mic number 60 something, and someone automatically will go to be like, yo, why would you post your open mic, bro? You kind of bomb. That's kind of like bad. But versus someone like me, I'll be like, bro, that's admirable, man. You can be that vulnerable and put it out to your following. That's like thick skin times 2.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
That's half of it, but it's also the way I justify it to people is like, okay, am I narcissistic, cocky self, right? I'm thinking, okay, I wouldn't pursue this if I didn't think I would be good someday, right? And that good day could be, 3 years, 5 years, 10 years, whatever. But in the meantime, you take someone like Chappelle, Patrice O'Neal, whoever, like top-notch comics. Wouldn't it be dope if you're like, oh shit, I have his whole catalog and I can like see his progression from like literally day one to whatever. So
that's exactly what separating the art from the artist. It's almost like we're almost now getting to an era of like the SoundCloud comedian.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
And it's like the ones that survive, right, have good content. But people like Lil Xan is trash. But his fans know him so well that they love him.
Yep.
They love his vlogs. They love his posts. They love his Instagram live. They love it. Yeah, maybe he comes out with a song and it gets some bumps and it's kind of whack. But then he's cool again and he's doing fun stuff and people are seeing him grow as an artist.
Right.
Oh, look at Lil Xan. He was hanging out with Gucci Mane yesterday. Oh, he really made it. It makes them feel like they made it.
Yep.
So it's the same thing for us. Like, we shouldn't play ourselves down.
Exactly. That's what frustrates me so much because I'm like, guys, you're complaining about these bad Instagram comedians, but if you're so good, fucking do what they're doing.
Out
Put
here,
your shit
bro.
out here,
The money's here to be made. The bread is here to be ate. Like, why section yourself off?
Exactly.
But I get people that are reserved on social media. They feel like it's hoeing out. They feel like, oh, I'm not ready yet, so why am I posting all the time?
Yeah, I've told this story a bunch of times, but it's just hilarious to me. I've turned it into a bit sometimes where I have a poet friend, and he's one of these like reserved types, right? Only puts out the ready-made shit, no drafts. And I post fucking everything. So one day I posted like 9 pictures and just goofing around. And he finally comments like, dude, we got to talk about curated content, okay? So later on I go to his house or his place in Brooklyn and he's got some friends over I've never met before. And I'm telling him like my justification. I'm like, dude, once I like let go and I'm just like, listen, this is my raw self, take it or leave it. And I'm building an organic fan base that follows me for me. So, and so now I'm happy. I'm okay with myself. So that's why I'm okay to be vulnerable and put myself out there. and the two people that were there that I'd never met before, they just turned to me and go, "That's so brave." And I didn't know whether to be offended or not, because I'm like, "Are you saying I should?" It takes courage to be me. You know what I mean? Like,
in this life, when you're pursuing things that are art based, almost every other comment is backhanded. Every other compliment is backhanded.
No, I'm sure they meant well by it, but it was hilarious in my head where I was like, "Holy shit! I could take this as an insult." You know
I know, but it's like it's not. Yeah, sure. What they said,
but that's half the fun of it, because like, so my favorite is getting hilarious bad comments like, "Dude, you are fucking whatever." Just like, I love reading these, man. They always brighten my day, if you will.
Hey, any press is good press.
Yeah, exactly.
They're commenting on you.
And I remember, because you were saying like, "Yo, dude, this is admirable. You're putting out all your sets." So like usually the sets that have been out for a while, like my first set ever has like 5,000 views on 6,000 views, something like that. And then the ones that have been out for a while have like close to 1,000 views, if not already past it. And routinely I'll get like 200, 300, 500 views on these videos. But usually the day I'll post an open mic set, it'll get like 30, 40 views. Mm-hmm. No big deal. One time I posted one and I had a really bad set. Like, I went left with it. I was having a bad day. I didn't really do any material. It was a bad room. I was just like, "Guys, what the fuck are we doing here?" You know? And I just started talking on my ass. No laughs, just nothing.
Oh shit!
I post that one. Within 12 hours, the shit has 2.3 thousand views on it. I'm like, "What's going on? This is not even one of the good ones."
Because people love negativity.
Not only that, but I found out exactly why that negativity spread. It's because a friend of mine went out of his way to text me to be like, "Dude, your shit is on the front page of Reddit's cringe page." Like, this shit is bad.
That's crazy.
Yeah. But I loved it because, in the comments, people were roasting me, like challenging my personality, like, "Dude, you need help. You need to go see somebody. This is bad." And I'm just responding like, "Hey guys, yeah, you're right. I had a bad set." And then it was funny to see their reaction, like, "Oh shit, man, you're kind of taking this pretty well. It's kind of cool of you to, be okay with this." I was like, "Yeah, dude, it's not that serious."
Them. Yeah, it's not about that.
But I like the connection aspect of it, the way you can connect with your fan base through this, and that's been the bigger fun part for me. Like, I have kids reaching out, telling them I'm inspiring them now to pursue comedy because they're seeing me go through the bullshit. People seeing me goof off with shoes, and they're like, "Yo, you've inspired me to go to medical school or to study harder in college or whatever they're doing." I'm like, I'm just here goofing off with shoes, being myself. You know what I mean? So,
I mean, at the end of the day, I feel like whoever is gonna make it in this life in general, whatever platform you have, you'll use it for something big.
Yeah.
Whether it is motivating someone to buy sneakers or whether it's motivating someone to like do something for their community, you're using that platform to truly influence, versus like, "Hey, this is my new fit tee." You know what I'm saying? I mean, even fit influencers. I mean, they're sparking some sort of initiative in people to like, "Oh my God, I want her body. I want his body. I want to do better." Oh, they have a diet plan. I'm not trying to knock no one, but it's like.
Do you have friends that knock people? Do you have like those cynical friends in your life?
All the time, bro. Especially in comedy.
Comedians,
and the people that are like fashion influencers. That's a very toxic world.
Yep.
I know the fashion world. It's kind of like. It's worse than comedy, to be honest. It's very toxic. Like,
I think a lot of that has to do with the fact that it's so superficial. Like, it's literally what you are wearing. Like, that's there's nothing.
And how you look physically.
Right.
Absolutely. That is why.
Yeah.
Although I live for a catty moment. I live for a little bit of cattiness, but
it's too much sometimes.
It gets a little too much sometimes.
The time I finally realized it was all bullshit was I used to follow GQ heavy because I was super into like the high end like
men's
groomed
wear.
look, right?
Mm-hmm.
And before the whole streetwear era was taken off and whatnot, Instagram era, whatever. And I remember they would always post like back then they were feeding me in my newsfeed much more of their stuff, but they would do articles where they're like top 5 outfits of the week or ugliest 5 outfits of the week. And for some reason, I started to notice like it was so subjective. Like they'd be like nitpicking this one little thing.
Only
and
one type of guy too.
Yeah, and it would always be almost like the same person every time. So it's like, okay, I think you guys, what you're basically trying to say is you just don't like this person, so you're looking for something you don't like on it, which is always easy to do.
Right.
Whereas the person that you love and feature every week, he'll be wearing the sloppiest outfit, and you'll be like, "Dude, this is fire," and that's just
you think like 10 years ago or whatever, 5 years ago? Actually, no. We'll say like eight. You think 8 years ago GQ would have covered ASAP Rocky? Not even drunk they would have done that. And now they got A$AP Rocky wearing a Versace silk of babushka. You know, A$AP put that on to cover a scar.
Really? I didn't know
Yeah,
that.
he had a. I don't know where it's from. He won't say.
Okay.
In my opinion, I think he may have caught it from like eating some crazy box. I think because A$AP don't fight no more.
Sounds like it.
No. But he put like a rag, a silk rag, silk Versace rag, and he called it the babushka. Tied up. It looks stupid. Now it's a fashion trend, and GQ did an article on like the people that are doing the babushka now. It's all trending.
It's all bullshit.
It's all trending. So they nitpick this one person because they look like that, and then in 2 seasons they'll highlight that person for looking the same way.
Next, Actually, with your fashion background, what do you think of the whole? Why is it A$AP Rocky is like that go-to dude? Because I notice him pop up a lot on these fashion blogs. And it's like, yo, check out what A$AP's wearing. Like, why? Do you have any insight into that?
So he was one of the. Hip hop has always had the fashion intersection,
right.
but it never got the respect, right? Because it was way too ghetto, it was way too hood.
Yeah.
Like, you know, Wu-Tang, some of the other big '90s rappers were wearing Polo, Ralph Lauren, Tommy Hilfiger, heavy, and some design Versace. They were wearing that before. Gucci, they were wearing it before, but they never got the press from it because they didn't want to be associated with like hoodlums.
Yep.
A$AP was one of the first dudes, I think, in our modern era where social media was starting to boom, that was really doing rap and fashion together, right? Paired with his I am me attitude, like fuck you, suck my dick, I don't care, I'm from Harlem, like I got this swag, I don't need everyone to like me, but you gonna love me for who I am type shit. People like that because now everyone's about being their most authentic self. But before, the person that was their most authentic self used to get clowned on all the time, you know what I mean? Now the nerd's in the spotlight, but before the nerd used to get punched in the face.
That's
you know
right.
What I'm saying? And now I love it though, because now we're not being mean anymore. We're being more like, no, this is what you provide to the world. I think that's why A$AP Rocky started to do that, and then once he started to make money, he started to wear high-end luxury. Not just Gucci though, he was wearing like smaller designers. You know, Jeremy Scott took him and made him a poster child, and he was wearing the Adidas with the wings in the back. I'm saying,
not my favorite line, but I get it. I get it.
And he was wearing. He loved Raf Simons, and then Raf loved him back. And when you get that Raf Simons cosign with the hip hop, with the attitude, with the cool pretty boy shit, everyone started to like him. And I think now he's really solidified himself as like the fashion OG now, actually, for these young dudes. Because believe it or not, like his era where he was coming up now is like kind of old. You know, when you're talking to like Gen Z kids or something. But yeah, and he kind of started it. Like he was wearing do-rags before they're like cool.
I remember that era. I was gonna ask too. What are your favorite brands? Do you have any favorite brands? Do you follow by brands, or are you more into your own shit?
I'm into my own shit. I like to wear my own shit on stage and all that stuff because like I am my poster. I am my billboard. So when I make it, so will my line. Which is called Felice Co, by the way. But I love Nike. Always have. Big Nike fan. Obviously the message behind it too. Some of the shit that they've been doing recently is like very heavy hitting. Like some of their ads are like almost tear jerking, and it's like I'm not embarrassed or feel weird saying like an ad had an effect on me. Like these are like a lot of people
going multi-million-dollar projects. And
if they're actually giving money to these organizations, then they're doing something, right? I love Nike. I've been a hype beast since I was little. So I was wearing Supreme before it was Supreme. So I love Supreme, even though they hoe out all the time. Whatever.
Actually, that raises a good question I should ask you of all people. What do you think of this term of they killed this, or they put out too much of this, now it's dead, this is dead, that's dead? It's like, what's your thoughts on oversaturation of a product and killing a brand?
Oversaturation is a real thing. It just is. And Supreme does it all the time. But to be a brand that can kill something also holds weight. Okay? Because, like, they move so quickly that you forgot what they killed.
Right.
Because once they kill it, they bring the new. Everyone wants like for example, when Yeezy started to produce more sneakers.
Yeah.
When he didn't, everyone wanted them. They're like, how come he doesn't put out more? I don't get to get them. You know, I'm not a reseller. I don't got the in with the store or whatever. I can't pay for a spot. I got online. Fuck my Wi-Fi. I don't know. Now he released more. Now people are like, man, everyone got those white Yeezys, man. I don't want those white Yeezys no more. So what do we want here?
Right.
So things are going to eventually get killed.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like even La Croix. Listen, like before, it was all about, I don't know, what do people fucking drink? Maybe the polar seltzer was cool. Now everyone got La Croix. Before, La Croix was like kind of like fancy.
Yeah.
La Croix was like, if that's the seltzer you got, if you living right. But now I could buy La Croix at the bodega. So now maybe people they don't. Oh, I don't want this. Everyone has it in their house now.
Yeah, everyone wants to be exclusive.
Everyone wants some sort of exclusivity.
Yeah.
So that's why, and then the brands build that demand. Then they give the supply,
Yep.
and then it dies, and then it comes back. That's why all these Air Maxes are coming back out of nowhere, because people saw them again, and they're like, "Oh, I want them now."
Yeah.
I mean, Nike releases like 3 good colorways, and then the other 10 are like, I don't know what the fuck you did with that.
My only issue is I'm all for people wanting to be exclusive, and I want something no one else has. I'm all for it. Have it. I don't care about that kind of shit. But my whole thing is like, okay, as an OG collector who wants like classic colorways, let's say of a Jordan, they're doing a much better job of this now. But I was always just like, dude, why don't you put out the shit all of us want for everybody? And then the shit that's like exclusive, make those the ass colorways, because people are gonna buy those regardless, right?
That's
Because
what
they
you're
want the exclusive thing.
Yeah.
So that's all they care about. They don't care what it looks like. They clearly don't care what it is.
That's funny, yeah.
You know? So make the ass colorways the limited ones, and make the good ones available to everyone. Because especially if you have a long-term play in mind, then don't forget, people need to wear your product if you want them to be a hit when you retro them again. Like, oh, I had those as a kid. If you don't have the Yeezys as a kid, where's the nostalgia? Where's the, you know?
But see, that's the thing with sneakers, though. Sneakers, you don't need to have it in your hand to love it.
True.
Because it's a culture now. It's like, if the Yeezy, what were the ones we were looking at? 350s, right?
Yeah.
The 350s, say he stops that, and he keeps with the runner phase, and he goes chunky, and he has a new thing. I'll always remember what the Yeezys were when I was now. I'll always remember. So if they come back, it's nostalgia. I never had it though.
Right.
I'll remember it though. Just like I never had the Aqua 8s. I never had them, but they meant so much to me.
Okay.
They meant so much. So it no longer is just a product. It's like a lifestyle.
Just a memory, right?
You know what I'm saying? That's why they can release a shit sneaker, just like you said, and people will buy it because of what it is. Like a lot of the Dornbacher colorways are trash to me.
Yeah, I'm not a huge fan of the Dornbacher.
But they want it because it's rarity, you know. Right. So, but I remember what that shoe was, and I remember my friends wilding out. Space Jams. Space Jams are all black with a blue Jumpman with a little bit of white. People would get jumped for those. So when they come back, I'll remember that.
Yeah.
I never had them though.
Right.
Never had them in my hand. So it's like it's interesting. That's why every brand in the world wants what the sneaker culture has. They're like, I want that sort of blind want. I want people to crave my product. Everyone's trying to be supreme, bro. Everyone's trying to be supreme.
Yep. What really put it in perspective for me was when they were talking about the recent news of Supreme. I don't know the entire story, but someone put it in context for me of like over in, I think it's China, where they're just like the counterfeit is just getting way too out of hand. So now you have people legit buying Supreme tees because the counterfeit Supreme tees cost less than the regular tees.
It's crazy.
You know what I mean? Like, it would be cheaper to get a fake Supreme tee than like a Walmart tee in China. So I could almost start to realize in my head, like, yeah, if I saw every homeless dude out in the street and every kid and everybody with a Supreme keychain and everything else, I would look at Supreme differently. I wouldn't. Yeah. I'd be like, all right, I kind of don't need this
everyone
anymore. It's everywhere. Yeah. Right. Even though it's fake, but it's like
It's just like that. It's all supply, demand, and crave and want and. I mean, people find a way to make the money to get it. People find a way to get in line.
Strangely, right? It's like, how do we...
I mean, I grew up in an urban environment, bro. And like, I remember working at Hollister and saving up my checks 2 months just to get some shit. You know what I could have done with that money? I could have ate out with my friends. I could have, like, I don't know, maybe bought a skateboard, got into skateboarding. I don't know. But nah, save it. And that was back too when Jordans were like 150, 120 sometimes. Now they're 200. I don't buy Jordans no more. Right. You're not getting me for $200. No way. No way.
They're getting me for much more, so I'm falling into that trap.
Right, but we have different likes, different wants. Yeah. But like, I remember waiting in line at the mall. It was cold as fuck. You had to go with your friends, and they weren't even sneakerheads because you didn't want to leave that place alone because you could have got jumped around the corner. I remember going 120. Now 200. Nah. I'd rather pay more. Like, say I can't afford it. I'd rather pay $300 for some other shit that I find more value.
Yeah. No, it's all about value, right? Like, that's why I'll look at someone that collects something else. I'm like, why are you doing this? Yeah. And then they'll look at me like, why are you
like that? Like the Atmos ones.
Yeah.
The Atmos ones, the Air Max ones you had, or the Pata ones too. I would drop money on those. I feel like those are unique. That's a collab that I like. Jordans, man, I'm not buying cement 3s again.
Yeah, they're always coming back. So.
Come on, bro.
Yeah, they'll never make those patterns again. They'll never make those.
Exactly. Yeah. There's value there. There's value there. Or like, I don't know, yesterday I had Air Force Ones that I rode all over. I'd rather spend $90 on some shit that I'm gonna love. Right. It's all about what you love, man. Yep. If you that collaboration, if Pata's one of your favorite brands and that's one of your favorite Air Max silhouettes, you pay whatever for it.
Sure. Unfortunately, I have. But anyway, I want to cut this, not short, but cut the fruitful discussion here since...
Okay. You got someone coming?
Yeah, I got someone else coming. And cool. This has been great, man. I feel like we've been talking for forever. It's only been 43 minutes.
Hey, man. So I had a good time.
That's great. I appreciate you coming down. Why don't you plug whatever you want to plug again, just in case?
Luis Galilei on Instagram. Come through, see my shows. I'm always posting it on my stories. At the SEL Podcast. And then at Risa Comedy. That's a show. All right,
we'll link it on the description. Appreciate you coming down, man. Super funny.
Thank you, man.
I'll definitely have to see you again at another show.
Yeah, man.
Check them out. See you guys soon.
Subscribe. Boom.